Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan, and I'm back from Tokyo. Oh my gosh, I put my camera, like my cell phone actually, right in front of me, and the light is just above that, so it's like, blinding me. But anyway, Yoko, hello. How are you? Do you hear me well? Like I have a fan here. Hope it's not bothering. But anyway, I wanted to do this live stream earlier, but my husband and I, we had to have a political meeting. This is what we do. Like my husband and I, we are of course a married couple, but often we have a meeting, like like colleagues or something. I feel like something is on my lip. Oh well, don't mind me if there's a hair on my lip or whatever. Anyway, we love you, Yoga. Greetings from the USA. USA, USA. Do you see my holy Trump hat here? It's Make America Great Again, though. Do they have Save America hat now, or is it the same? This is so glorious. This is a real one. Someone one of you actually sent that to me in 2015 or 16. Like it was on a early stage too. Someone sent me. So yeah. Sup, Yoko, sup. Hear you loud and clear. Yeah. Yes. Here. Good. Long time no see. No long time anymore. Long time no see. Yes, in Japan. Yes. And just heard myself from the living room because my husband is probably watching this live stream on a gigantic screen in the living room. But anyway, hello. So I was in Tokyo and probably saw the video that I visited the state funeral place, like Abe's state funeral that's coming up on 27th. That is Tuesday here. What is today? Oh, it's like in 2 days, the day after tomorrow. So yeah, it's finally happening. And regarding that, though, by the way, I got an interview. Like I was interviewed, and I hope that it will be published soon so that you guys can see that. And Yoko's hyper today? Yeah, I'm always hyper. I'm high on life. I feel like I'm getting more and more energetic lately though, because and I think that the reason why especially is because now I go for a walk. We there's a huge park nearby. It's a the one track is long, so like my husband and I we go like he walks me. I'm basically please let's go for a walk, and he takes me out. So yeah, that's good. Getting hyper. Did I show you this? Yes. Hi. So apparently Japan's gonna have open borders real soon, and it's scary to think what foreigners are gonna do to Japan. Yes, I actually agree. It's good, like considering our economy, it's good that now finally the regulations are getting lifted. So it's good that you guys can finally come like freely, without registering yourself to the tour and so on with some guide or whatever. Like that was the rule until now, but now they are lifting that up. So you can enter this country like you used to. It's good, but we were finally like our COVID-19 infections. The number is finally like going down, but now like, what's gonna happen? But it's gonna like I guess that it's something that we have to deal with you know and but some I think some foreign people have the wrong idea that COVID-19 is still happening in Japan, like we don't even wear masks anymore overseas, blah blah blah. But Japanese people are just being so dead serious, that we count the infected people number like seriously, like it's so precise. and we make sure that we were counting everything. And that is, and if you compare that with like other countries, then like there is a huge difference in how you count and so on, and whether you are even counting. So that's why we count. So of course there are people, if you test, even if you don't have the symptom, you're infected and so forth. So you know what I mean. Anyway, how do you think that US and Japan get even closer? Hmm, you know, uh, politically, I don't know, but as for soft powers, we could do events. Sometimes I think of like I don't think I have the capacity to actually do these activities, but sometimes I wish to have this group that bridges Japan and the US. And on a cultural level, maybe they already have that, but like there are like half Japanese musicians, for example, Mike Shinoda, and there are like Japanese blooded actors and so on in the US. And and vice versa, like over here we have that sort of people here, and there are people like me that love America like so much, and we could do like a mingle party. That sounds kind of naughty, but you know what I mean. So like so they could perform on stage, and um we could do like a monthly gathering or something. That would be so fun. And that sort of, I think we need that sort of activities together. And also I'm a gamer. Kind of, I play mobile games. Like last night I was playing this Call of Duty mobile. And I know that people in the US are the main people. It's the game from America, and we could do like a joint event to play games together. Japan versus America, and blah blah blah. So that would be fun. So I think of that sort of stuff. Yeah, hi all. My husband says hi all. It's interesting that my husband's understanding of English is getting better and better, and I hope that soon enough he'll be able to speak by his own in English so that he could get interviewed by foreign media. That would be great. That's my goal. It's not even his goal. That's my goal. I don't have to support him anymore. Glorious Nippon couples reproduce. Deep Abe. Yeah, we love to, yeah. But it's something that you get from above, something that you can't control. So we'll only know when that happens. I've been in a good mood since yesterday because a leftist anime voice actor got fired from a woke company. He supports Newsom, my deep state California governor who destroyed my home. Ah, that's good news. Yeah. That's good. We need to stop the Great Reset. What is Great Reset? That sounds familiar. I have to know. Is it forum? World Economy Forum? Like you guys talk about that at all? Oh, I see. I think I have an idea. Okay. Here's the USA. They'll fake the numbers for profit political motives. Yeah. The crazy part of this pandemic is that, okay, the first stage of this pandemic was China, you know, spread the virus intentionally or unintentionally. We don't know. There are ways that we want to think, but we don't know, right? But anyway, it came from China. And even though it was China's fault, they didn't apologize to the world. There are even, but rather they made so many masks, and like, oh, here are the masks that you can buy, world. And they are like, oh, thank us, for these masks that we are exporting for you guys. Like, why? Like, why did you spread the virus to begin with? Like, there were many stages that you could have stopped, but they didn't. But anyway, so they got advantage of that. And of course, countries are suffering. There are shortage everywhere of all kinds of things, and China is like, oh, I'll help you, but in return, that sort of diplomacy happens. So China took the advantage of that, but then soon America came, and America is like, oh yeah, we have vaccines. We're gonna make the vaccines first, and they did that. And it's I think Pfizer and Moderna. Well, I don't know the pronunciation in English, but yeah, Pfizer and Moderna, and they those vaccines are popular in the whole world, right? So Japanese people, we got those shots. So me, I got Pfizer twice, and that's the end. I had to do it because we didn't know at the stage like what was happening, so I did that twice. But then I'm like, I'm stuck home all the time, and when I go to Tokyo, I do use like transportation, but I wear a mask, so does everybody, and I have a distance with everybody else, and also I just meet the national diet members again, like social distance, like everything is like checked, and I'm fine. So I stopped taking the vaccine shots. And yeah, but I realized like in Japan, we are developing some medicines and so forth, but somehow it's not like permitted by our country. So like we keep using like American products, and but I guess it's good for America. you know no, I don't know how it is for Japan, but at least considering the trade and so forth, it's good. And I don't have any negative feelings about being like having this deep ties with America. So yes. Ohio. Gotta do it like mountain thing. I don't know what it's called, like it goes. Yeah, but do you have other games you play other than COD Mobile? I play what's called Apex Legends Mobile and Apex Legends. Like I tried on PS4. I know I'm not good at it, so I quit. And yeah, Apex Legends Mobile was popular like when it came, but people got tired of it, so the market is small now. But you aren't playing the new Modern Warfare 2 beta. Is it COD kind, right? Yeah. Like I don't know how people do with the controller. I have that here. Like this? Like so difficult for me. I can't do that. Like when I was young, like a teenager, my parents didn't allow me to play games. They didn't buy me games even if I like no matter how much I begged. So the only things that I had was kendo gears, martial arts gears, textbooks, piano, and computer. So I turned into a nerd. Do you play Camel or Azure Lane? Those are video games about World War II. Japanese warships as anime girls. What? Wait, anime? What, anime or I'm confused. Interesting. Yeah. My gaming industry is very, of course, important in Japan. That's one of our soft power. But I think that China is exceeding. Like they're better than us now, and so yeah, like. And the problem of Japan is that this is actually something that. Where's my notebook? I put in my other room, but I need to look up the. Hold on. Umi. He named it in a weird way. Democratic Party for the People. Democratic Party for the People. There's a opposition party named as that here in Japan, and their party leader often talks about like it's a good party. They're not too much liberal. They are liberal, but like not like leftist. So they are very like constructive and so forth. But that party, Democratic Party for the People, they have economic policies that they suggest or appeal, and their idea is to put all the investment into young people and also talented people, like technology and so forth. The reason why Japan is so behind now in games or just technology in general is because we don't raise that sort of people. We, like, Japanese people, we are so smart. Like some of us, not me, but some of us are really smart. Like it's like a top level in the world, but our country doesn't invest. So those talented people, do you know where they go? America and China. So that's what we need to stop. Man. Okay, anyway. Speaking of China, there's a talk of coup happening in Beijing right now. Really? The elders of the CCP held Winnie the Pooh under house arrest. Oh yeah, I did see someone talking about that, like arrested and so on. I haven't. I was in Tokyo and then I was busy like editing and writing blogs and like that sort of stuff. And it doesn't. I don't know. I can't really check right away with Japanese source, but yeah, I'll look into that. Thank you. Speaking of Xi Jinping, though, I am wondering about what's going to happen to Hunter Biden. I think it's going to start in January next year because GOP will win this year, right? In midterms. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. It's like America's politics is like on one side is strong and then like the power goes to like the opposite side, and yeah, it's so dramatic. Yoko, does the Japanese media have Tucker Carlson like journalists? People talk. Our journalists are so like how do I I'm looking for the right adjectives, but I can't find. um our people are loud, regardless of our assumption of our culture, but and we proudly insist our points, but and some like often and people make fun of what's wrong with our country or the world, but the problem is that our sophistication, like our intelligence and so on, is the level is not as high as America. That's how I feel. That that all the intellectual ones are on the left side here, and on the right side, people talk about their emotion, and it's like, oh, I can't, allow this to happen, and oh, like, oh, they're bad, and they don't really talk about the policy or strategy and so on. Yeah, they're passionate, and that's good. And that kind of voice is something that we couldn't raise before. Like it's only around the time when Shinzo Abe came around that changed our society. The problem, though, is that because our society is now leaning towards the conservative ideology in a way, like the society in general, of course, is left biased, and LGBT agenda is coming, and all that, like feminism and like identity politics, that sort of things are coming in Japan. But I think like national security and so on, people are waking up, especially due to what's happening in Ukraine and so on. And there are now our conservative market, like books and magazines and YouTube channels and so on. A conservative power is now strong and it's popular. So what that means is that in order to make money, people come to our side and they write books and so on, and or just make commentaries, and yeah, they do that in just like as populist in a way, and that's how they can make a living. So not everybody is like, no matter how much it's pretty much like Rhino, like they might say good things that you want to hear, but that doesn't mean, oh man, my my face froze on that. Stupid face. But yeah, oh wait, let me change that camera because I hate it when it happens. Okay, you guys are closer now. Sorry. Oh, gigantic face. My camera sometimes stops, my cell phone. But anyway, yeah, so that happens. They Our people, yeah, so they are not always conservative, even though they say conservative stuff. And the Tucker Carlson type, not sure. Man, this I'm using Epoch Cam, and it's like cutting and getting connected again, and annoying. Is it better now? Let me check. Sorry. No, I think it's I think it's gone. Never mind. Okay. I just don't like that my face is gigantic here. Oh well. Mentions of Abe, rest in peace, be missing him so much. Hope Trump makes it to his funeral in 4 days. Yeah, is he coming? I don't even know. Trump, so let's check it out. I can't. Is he coming? I'm checking. Oh, Trump is not coming. Due to the UN? I don't know. But I can understand if Trump doesn't come, but what Trump did was already like he did better than Biden, because on the day that Shinzo Abe passed, Trump published a statement, and he was the first from America, like officially, and that means a lot, that is good enough. And on the other hand, Biden didn't react for a long time. I believe it was the next day for us. But yeah, so man, I feel terrible considering their relationship, yeah, because Shinzo Abe was the first to visit Donald Trump, after he was elected. Obama was still in power, but Abe visited Trump like in November, and they met Ivanka and the husband also. So yeah. Anyway, hi Yoko. Hello. Hi Yoko-san, I'm new here. I hope you're having a good day over America, Japan. Thank you. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming. This is a Q&A session, so you can ask me anything. There are like waifu battleships. Oh my god. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Hi, Yoko. 久しぶり。台風大丈夫でしたか？大丈夫でした。So there was a huge typhoon that basically like hovered over Japan, like Japanese islands. But yeah, we were. I mean, my place was okay, but other places were affected. I don't even know how bad the damage was, but what helped us from getting like a disastrous like damage, that we didn't get that because there was the administration right after Shinzo Abe quit, Suga administration. So Suga was like the right hand of Abe in our expression. I don't know if you say it like that, but very close to Abe. And Suga was actually the guy that came to Nara Prefecture after Abe was shot, like when Abe was still in hospital in Nara Prefecture where he was shot. Suga, former prime minister and like a cabinet secretary, I don't know I forget the expression always, but yeah, the Suga came to Abe's place when he was in a hospital, and he said that Suga wanted to be there to breathe in the same air as Abe for the last moment, and that's how like that like that is like very like I don't know, it comes to our heart, for the Japanese people. But yeah, so Suga, but anyway, so that was I was trying to explain how close Suga was to Abe, and so during Suga administration, they changed the budget system a bit, and so now they or not the budget or I don't know how it works. I'm not familiar to be honest, but they changed the system, and now that there were dams, but they were not used for in order to sustain the water and so on. So during a Suga administration, the system changed, and now we were able to use the dams that are already there, and so those saved people's lives. That stopped from flood happening and so on. Of course, it's not 100%, but it contributed a lot, and so many of our people are saying how important what an important role Suga administration played. Yes, I believe the coup when we see pics of Xi Jinping being hung in the Red Square. Yeah. Foreign leftist extremists who try to change the past should be banned. Yeah, in Japan, it's a big. When we talk about leftists, it's like a mixture of the Western influence and Chinese influence. Sometimes South Korean even or North Korea. So that's the main countries, and a bit of Russia, right? Like Russian, but Russian propaganda works on our right side for some reason. Yeah, and it's actually common with the U.S. Like I do see some right wings in America that are welcoming Putin's propaganda. Like they don't realize it, but like if you think about what's happening, and that's how it is. But anyway, so yeah, our leftists usually um want to prioritize foreigners because they say like, oh, they need the help and so on. And just like your country, like like in America especially, as I think I explained this a lot last week, but they try to let in illegal foreigners, when foreigners don't have the right visa anymore, or when it's expired they have to return to their home country, but when they refuse to do that, they are detained in our facility. And and then they complain about how they are treated there, even though we are just only asking them to go back, but they won't. And they say they are treated wrongfully, and then they damage their body, like injure their body by themselves, and then they try to escape and so forth. And the leftists openly do it because a lot of them are lawyers and so on. And yeah, and also there are some LGBTQ agenda here as well, because the leftists here think that it's a cool thing, it's a trendy, fashionable thing. So yeah, there is the same kind, but the Japanese people, like, I don't know what makes us so, but we are like culturally conservative, like women, like there are women that want to work, but others, the majority, like we don't want to work. We want to be housewives. And yeah, we appreciate the difference between men and women. And even though we are very tolerant about gay people and such, we enjoy like opposite sex, like, or like we dressing up in opposite sex and so forth, and we enjoy that. But And we also have like comic books about like boys love. That's what the category is, I think. Like, yeah, like gay guys like having romantic relationship and so on. And yeah, we enjoy that. And like our culture is very diverse. But yeah, it's interesting, man. Japan had by far the highest patent rate during the late 80s and early 90s. Patent? What is patent? I, I hear my husband eating something, and the spoon sound like. I can hear him doing that. He makes too much noise. He has to stop that. Oh, I see. Patent. I see. Yeah, we need to invent more stuff. We need to invest. I hope that Republicans win. I'm so tired of leftist propaganda thinking they can turn Texas and Florida blue. Yeah, what a huge dream. Like, don't people like it's interesting because people have their political thoughts based on their everyday life, right? Like they think a certain way because of the environment that they are in, because yeah, that's how, like, you react to what's happening to your life, and you speak from your place. And so people in Texas and Florida, like, there are reasons why they are the way they are, and the way that there's the way that they think, the reason for that. So I wonder, are those people, like those who think that they can turn Texas and Florida blue, do they live outside of Texas and Florida? Because then that makes sense. If Yeah, like if you're living there, like why wouldn't you be conservative? A lot of the time we assume the left is just crazy, but what does Japan think of its leftists? Do you think they believe what they preach, or is it just all massive grift, lie for money? There are, like, especially National Diet members, they are connected to CCP, Chinese Communist Party, and also like North Korea, and some of them are actually naturalized people too, so they they work for non-Japan, non-Japanese country, so that can happen. But aside from that, like right now, for example, there are people that are opposing to us holding the Abe's state funeral. There are people that are opposing to that. And those are, of course, leftists and extreme radical ones. And but the thing is that they're in the 60s or 70s, because they are the same leftists that used to do the anti-war type of movement in the 60s and 70s, like time-wise, in the 1960s or 70s. They were, I guess, like, of course I wasn't born, so I don't know, but I hear that in the world at the time, like they the leftists were expecting to have a communist like a revolution of communism. And so, the Red Army was here, and some of them actually committed terrorism too, like in other countries, and people died, and it was such a crazy times. But that sort of crazy, dangerous, radical leftists, they're still alive. Like, they're older though, grandma generation, but some of them are still active because they belong to unions, teachers union, or like a labor union sort of unions. And there are many groups in Japan, and when you see, like, for example, this time too, they do it openly, they do protests to fight against the state's funeral of Abe in order to bash Abe even after he's gone. It's nasty. I know. It's like, I don't even, I don't want to think of them as Japanese anymore because they don't have the heart of us. But yeah, that sort of people, and they often have their group flag. So that's what they're living for, not the Japanese flag, but the Union flag and so on. So they openly hold that. And not only that, there's going to be a movie about the suspects who murdered or assassinated Abe. And they're gonna make it public on the day that the state's funeral is happening. And so conservative people are fighting back, but like, but we can't stop because it's freedom, right? It is crazy that, so they don't have the Japanese heart anymore. And like, no matter how different you think about things, death is something that Japanese people, respected, like for hundreds of years. Like, one thing, for example, I come from Fukuoka Prefecture, and my prefecture was actually affected when the Mongolian empire was strong, like way back in like 1200 or so, like years. That's when the Mongolians had this huge empire. Like, isn't it like the largest empire in the world history? So when they had that, they came to Japan. We know, like, it was a mixture of Mongolians and Koreans and Chinese. But so those army came in many, many ships, and they came to, first they went to our island, small island, slaughtered massively, and then they got to our, like, there are four main islands of Japan, right? So the fourth one, like Kyushu, and my prefecture is like facing their side. So they got to our prefecture, Fukuoka, and yeah, so they came. And why am I talking about it? I lost a chain of thought, but yeah, the Mongolians came. I forget. I forgot. What was that? Where was I? Sorry, I talk a lot about the premise. But oh yeah, death. Okay. Now I'm back. So they were coming, and so the Mongolian army, they came, and our people fought. And then the second time they came, the typhoon flew them away. And we call it like a kamikaze, actually. The god's wind, blew them off. So, but anyway, but people died, especially our enemies at the time. But after that, we built a memorial and grave. Like, was it a grave? Like, we just respectfully, like, I went there. I saw them myself, like the huge stone, and it's written like to, to respect those who dedicated their life for their country, and that's what we do. But people like leftists today, like, we, like, even for the World War II, like, for American soldiers, we do have respect. Of course, we were enemies, and there are things like we are not happy with, of course, but vice versa. And but it's not like we are not gonna, think of them like in a really bad way. Like, we know that they fought for their country, and so there's this respect, right? So of course, for our prime minister that was in power for what, the longest term, who won the national election for 6 times in a row, which is historical, yeah, we're of course gonna show our respect, but not the leftists. And it's crazy because I see, like, even leftist mainstream media overseas, they are evaluating Abe's work highly, but not our not our leftists. So, like, they're worse than leftists overseas. That's crazy when you think about it. But anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah. Crazy world. Crazy world. Okay. Woke culture, war issues aren't left wing. It's a distraction used by globalists to divide, conquer working class. Culture. Hmm. Tradition is a set of solutions. Tradition is a set of solutions for problems that are long since forgotten. Without the problems, it is easier to defend the right on emotions. Wow, that's so difficult for me to understand. It's kind of philosophical to me. Without the problems, it's easier to defend. Difficult. Sorry, I'm not. I'm not that smart. So. Klaus Schwab is executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. They meet every year in Davos, Switzerland. They are planning on getting everybody on the social credit score. Huh, interesting. It's interesting where our world, like where developed countries are heading into. It's very interesting, with the rise of AI technology and, our living standards, like having this level, everybody is now like it's like essential to have a smartphone or some kind of tablet to survive in this world. That's something that we must have in this generation, but it's weird when you think about it. It's only in developed countries. Of course there are like smartphones, I guess, that non-developed countries have, like, people have that also, but still, like, the social, like, infrastructure is different in that sort of countries, like the so-called third world. I'm not here to like look down on them, but so what I'm trying to say is that there's a gap in the world. But often Westerners, especially, they're like, oh, the world will be like this and that, but they're actually looking at 10 or 20% of the world. They're still like, those who are living in like a traditional tribe, in like half naked and just, yeah, living in the woods and so on, for example. That's the extreme example, but like, what is the world? But of course you have to think about your country. That's the world that you see. But yeah, man, it's weird though. Yeah, because older people get away with technology because they say that they don't understand these technology things, and they get away. But starting from, I guess, around my generation, I started to use the internet every day since 15 years old. Like when I was about like a freshman of high school, somewhere around that, I started to use internet every day, and I already had a cell phone at that time. But so our generation doesn't have an excuse. Like, we know how to use all this technology. And yeah, now all the money even are changing the form into digital ones. So yeah, and our information, of course, is what's called like, it's managed digitally. So yeah, everything is changing. And people are scared too much, though, I think, in my opinion. Of course, it's important to find it's important to have the right security system to protect our data and everything. But yeah, and also it does have the sense of like totalitarianism or socialism. But that's something that we need to ponder a lot, I think. Okay, you should watch Greg Gutfeld on Fox. Funny guy. Greg Gutfeld. Zurich. Hmm. Okay. Nice, nice. Man, America has so many people, like cool people that can speak. Intellectually. I really think that it's amazing how Americans are verbal. Which I'm trying here, but American people just talk so much, so much. Everything is expressed verbally, and I love the culture, just but it's just overwhelming at times. The church, your religious beliefs, and your comedy, your movies, your politicians. It's so much information. On the other hand, here, as I said before, we don't express. You read a you have to read a line. You have to read the atmosphere. We are not gonna say everything. You gotta guess. So that's our culture. So I'm sometimes overwhelmed by that side of America. Yeah, self-development and everything too. Like entrepreneurs, they know how to speak. And yeah, oh, it's time. My husband is like, oh, time is running out. Oh yeah, 15 minutes to go. Um, yeah, so it's good though that that output actually becomes the input, and American people's level is getting higher and higher. I wish we had that. People here do talk, but different way. I don't know if it's good or bad, but anyway, I'm very much influenced by America's culture, so I'm like, oh yeah, America's better. Like there's a part of me that thinks that way. So anyway, I hope Trump is going to be going to the funeral he got along with Abe. It will be appropriate. Yeah, actually, on that, I wish I would have said this at the interview too, but some people here, like conservative, like opinion leader type, actually, he was the guy that leaked the footage when Japanese ship and Chinese ship like crashed in around Senkaku Islands. That's how many years ago now? 12 years ago. 2010 and September 24th. Yesterday for us, but today for you. That is when is it crash happened. And so the guy working for the Coast Guard of Japan, he released, like he knew that he was going to get fired, but he released the uh, footage of when that happened. Like it's a war, Japanese ship and Chinese ship getting into that battle. But yeah, but anyway, he got fired, but then he became a political commentator, Masaharu Ishiki, and he was saying that Trump should speak for Abe, at the funeral. I think it's about, like I think it is a state funeral. I don't know the timing, but he was saying that to represent of us all, Trump should speak at our ceremony. Like he's American though. Like when you think about it, it's kind of weird. But like there are so many people that felt like they agreed to that. Like, oh yeah, Trump, Trump, Trump. So conservative people here love Trump so much. It's so amazing. Yeah. Biden thought they were talking about Abraham Lincoln. Are you serious? Are you serious? Or is it the joke? I can't even tell. That's the worst part. Like, you can't. I saw the comment of I don't know the context of when that happened, but I did see when Biden talked about when when she was 12 and I was 30. I was like, what? So I can't tell, like especially coming from another country. Sometimes I can't tell, like even the red backdrop speech, I thought that it was a meme, but it was real. So like every time I have to Google to make sure, okay, did this really happen or what? I have to I have to do the extra work what I have to deal with overseas. But anyway, oh, I'm crying. Abe was also a guest of President Trump at Mar-a-Lago, one of the few world leaders invited there. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, I remember when Abe went to Mar-a-Lago. That's actually when, um, was it in Syria? Like some country in Middle East, they attacked America, right? I think that was when that happens. So like we have the footage of like when Trump heard that news, and so that was kind of a hot topic for a while. Yeah, Trump. Mm. Yes, 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 yes. You should look up Yuval Hariri. It will help you understand who Klaus Schwab is. They are transhumanism. Huh? Man, some overseas stuff amaze me. Hmm. Israel. Okay. Oogie. LGBT may be fine and accepted in Japan comics, but very hated in the West. Yeah. Yeah, of course, with Christianity and everything. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, Japanese culture is traditionally, it's not even only today, but Japanese culture, like traditionally, is very tolerant, You have, like, Westerners often have the image of Japan being like, like we are all Japanese and we have one religion or whatever. We don't even have one religion. Some people believe in Shinto, Christianity, Buddhism, even Muslim is Islam. And do I know Jewish people here? Maybe there should be some, but I am friends with Jewish people in America, but I don't think they are. I haven't encountered yet. I want to. Like I know many different kinds of people, and so that's cool. And it's important to, I think, like people fear diversity sometimes. Like I'm not gonna push diversity like leftists do, but um, I'm an international person, and I talk to people from like people from other countries all the time, like even considering the fight against China. I talk to people from Tibet, Uyghurs, Southern Mongolia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and even the UK and other European country and America, and Australia is missing though. And oh yeah, Cambodia, Vietnam, yeah, and Philippines missing. And but yeah, we or Thailand, yeah. Like I have all these friends around the world, and I talk to many people, and it's good when there are differences, because then you can think about other things that you didn't think before, and then you can get a bigger picture, which I love. I love it when there's a aha moment. Oh, there's a way to look at it like that. Anyway, man, I've been talking for 54 minutes straight. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. Why do leftists in Japan want communism when anyone can see how China treats its citizens so horribly? They do. Even the Japanese Communist Party, I think that they oppose to the, yeah, like when it comes to human rights oppression, even the Japanese Communist Party think of that as a problem, and they openly publish a statement too, because we passed our resolution to, basically attacking China. that we There was a resolution that we wanted to pass, which only did in the House of Representatives, and we are still waiting for House of Councilors. But yeah, the resolution was about China and their human rights oppression issue. And the Japanese Communist Party agreed to the statement also, that there's a problem, human rights oppression problem. And yeah, they agreed. And but like I that is what I don't understand. The human rights oppression is done by CCP, right? So CCP is problem, right? But they don't connect the dots intentionally or unintentionally. So they're gonna say, like, they're gonna oppose to the result of the politics, like they're gonna try to protect the victims, but they're not going to interfere in the domestic politics. And that's how they think, or that, at least that's what they say. They don't want to interfere. And whatever they're thinking, honestly. Yeah, so when it comes to national security issues, what leftists here say is that, oh, China is not going to do that to us. I'm like, what? Like, look at what's happening to Tibet and Uyghurs and Mongolia, Hong Kong, now Taiwan. And they're so, just like, people in the US are um, poisoned with white guilt. It's the same for us. We have war guilt. So Japan was bad. We are the bad people. We have to, tie ourselves up so that we don't harm others. And that's the delusion that these leftists have. So they ignore all the threats from China and North Korea. Oh, their nuclear power, it's beautiful. Not Japan. Japan is horrible. We're very dangerous and blah blah blah. So that's the belief that they have. It's so crazy, so stupid, but that's how it is. But the people that insist that, though, is way above our generation. They're in the no, not even 60s, maybe. Like, they are so older, so much older. So it's a matter of time. What I'm hoping for, like, especially considering the situations in Okinawa prefecture, for example. There was a gubernatorial election recently, and the leftists, China's pet, he got re-elected. In Okinawa, there are only two papers, and they're both like extremely left, and people are, deceived and so on. But yeah, and also, and in Okinawa, as you may know, there are a lot of people like union type, like I said before, union type of old people, like retired people that are working there as a citizen activist. And it's said that they get paid also, and it's a small community. So, like, it's like the they fall in love too. Like, some drama going on. It's funny when you hear about the anecdotes coming from there. But anyway, so but those people are old, like 70 or so. So it's a matter of time. But I really hope that we make it in time, because China, they're expanding, and now Taiwan is in danger. But who knows? Maybe Senkaku will, like, our islands might be like the first, before Taiwan. Like, who knows? Because China comes to our not territorial waters, but around our territorial waters and so on. Sometimes come into our territorial water, but they do that, and they make it a routine. They enter. They come into the waters around Senkaku Island on a daily basis, so that they are making, what's the word called again? It's like a French word. wait. English. Fait accompli. They are making CCP is making fait accompli to say like, oh, we were always here around Senkaku, and so therefore it belongs to us. That's what they want to say. That's the situation that they are trying to create. So yeah, they're in a hurry, you know. Man, when is Xi Jinping's third term? Is it? Let me see. Oh, okay. It said in the fall, but Xi Jinping is having his third term soon. So yeah, man, it's so scary when you think about it. There are still some people here in Japan that look down on China, but their power is so much bigger than before. 横さんみたいな方だったら日本の国会議員は全員女性でいいです。ありがとうございます。Me. Yeah, women are usually. It's interesting that this is talking about, you know, Japanese National Diet members and being all female if they were like me. So that's a compliment, but thank you. But it's interesting how my political activist friends in Japan, 90 something, like close to 100%, they're all male. But when I look at my friends overseas, the majority are female. it's very interesting. And I'm on the conservative side, but that's so interesting, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hello. Random Yoko and here's Shishi. Thank you. Hello. Have you heard of the Moonshot Keikaku? Moonshot? What is moonshot? Like to go to the moon? Or innovate moonshot? No, I don't know. Oh, there's one. Moonshot 2050. What is this? What is Cabinet Office website. Cybernetic avatar. So by 2050, multiple avatar and robot. Oh, I see. I get it. Yeah. In Japan, there are so many, like, even though, as I said, like, our government is not investing into our people, like human resource, as much as they should, but we do have robotic technology a lot. And I even saw, like, I think I've said this before once, but there's even a huge robot that you can ride, basically, and like become a huge robot to do, like, you basically become like a giant, and so you can fix the rail, like a train rail and so on, like, so they can do that. So yeah, things like that are happening. And yeah, but yeah, in Japan we keep hearing the metaverse stuff too. So have you guys seen of the movie what's ready for what's it ready for in Ready Player? No, it's what's the real there was a movie, Ready Player One, right? No, I think that's it. I don't know. I can't. I don't know now, but there was a movie that I saw on Netflix, and it was about this kid, you know, a boy in America, and he's in the future, and he's living in this like slum town, like what is it called? Like very not very rich type, and but his place is so small, but he's there, and he goes into this metaverse world. It's like a gaming world, and he has friends there, and so he's an avatar. But so that's the theme, and that was a great depiction of the future. And it's like we are going there, so that's amazing. I'm not gonna like it should there should be a balance of technology and real life, of course, and there's always a risk. But the thing about technology is that we must develop considering the power struggle in the international society. I don't think that America will be launching stuff into the space if Russia or China was a threat. If they wouldn't have to hurry about that. They would America would have the dream to, let's explore the universe. I bet the Americans are like that because they're that type of humans on Earth, like explore and so on. But yeah, they had to hurry because Russia was gonna, beat America. For example, when they first landed on the moon, they had to hurry it because there was a competition. And same for what's happening in metaverse and also in the universe today, that now we have to hurry before the bad guy gets it first. So that's something like, there's always a problem, like especially people on the right side. We fear the control and so on, and our data, you know being grabbed by our authority and so on. We fear that, and I get that. But it's very important that we do it first, and we make it our rule, so that we don't get controlled. We have to control first so that we don't get controlled. And I think that's the competition that's happening. So we have to see the big picture always. Oh man, so many comments and I missed so much, but I have to go soon. Oh, super chat, thank you. Yoko, guess what? I just got paid yesterday, and you know what that means now. Today is your payday. Banzai! Really? Thank you so much. Man, that's a lot of money. But this is what I do for a living, so I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Wow. Yeah, you work hard and you give that to me. Good. It's gonna, come back to you in a good way. Yeah, yeah, because like I believe in spiritual stuff. Like this is a goodwill, and it will come to you. It will come back to you. Yeah. Okay. Yoko, are you a fan of Squid Games? Korean one, right? No. No offense to Koreans, but I'm addicted to American things and Asian things. I enjoy like foods, but entertainment I don't watch entertainment because I think I just love American English. It's so weird and it's so creepy, but I just love American language. And so like I want to be sucked into American English all day long, which I do. And so like no time for Korean stuff. Huh. Ready Player One is dystopia. Yeah, 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 yeah. That must be it. Do I see another super chat? Oh, thank you, Nicholas. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Where are you in Japan? Fukuoka. Fukuoka. When you spell it, it's gonna be fun. F-U-K. Then U-O-K-A. F-U-K. You okay. Fukuoka. Uh, there is a cafe in my prefecture, like in the city, Fukuoka city. There are two of them, but it's called FUK Cafe. Every time I look at it, I know it's childish. I know. Every time I'm like, they're making it cool, and it's like a curse word. Oh yeah, it's in English. It's in English. It's fashionable. And I'm like, FUK. I'll cry. I make myself laugh and cry. I'm a happy person. Can you believe that I used to be depressed? Man, I was just delusional. Ready Player One. Yes. That is such a good movie. I want to watch it again and just get a vibe, Man, futuristic stuff is so cool. What are the most and less conservative cities in Japan? The most or just everywhere in the countryside? If you go to countryside of Japan, that's where conservative people are because they all vote for LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, our governing party, and of course they're Liberal Democratic Party. And Shinzo Abe was from that party, for example, and he was a true conservative. But the party in general isn't even like a conservative, but they're the most conservative one right now. There's a new small party though, Sanseito. It's called Sanseito, but the main guy of the small party, Sanseito, is a conservative, but in order to gain power, he lets in many different types of people, like spiritual people, like multi-marketers, and just famous people and food type of people that do what you call like it's kind of like a walk people, not a walk people. What do you say? Like a vegan type of people, and so many genres. So even though the leader guy, like I don't think he's the leader of the party, but the main guy Kamiya, he is conservative, but the rest or like the mixture. So I think they're still thinking about the policies, but aside from that, there's only LDP right now. So, and the LDP art is supported by people in the countryside, and in the city, there are people vote for different parties often. So, but it's basically like in America, in the city, Democrats are strong, and if you go far away, it's conservative people. So same kind of dynamics, I think. Yeah. Okay. I guess Okinawa is looking for another nation of to hate. I guess China was the obvious choice. Another to hate. I mean, China. Okinawa people, they are targeted by China to be part of them. There are people. Oh man, there was a misunderstanding like when I was supporting Hong Kong independence. Like I think it was Hong Kongers actually that had the misunderstanding at first that Okinawa should be independent. Never ever say that. But China agitate the people there, like in Okinawa, to get independent. We don't hear that as much as before now. I don't hear that anymore. But there was a time when they were pushing that so much, like, oh yeah, Okinawa should get independent from Japan and become a country, that like stuff like that. So yeah, is my internet okay? I feel like today it's so weak. Like this room it's weak. Oh, another super chat. Thank you. Most of my time in Japan was in Yokosuka. I went to Hakone once. Never made it to that prefecture. Yes, I enjoyed a wonderful onsen. Oh, nice. Hakone. I've never been there. I want to go. one day. Like, yeah, like my friends, like older friends, though, they they have money, so they can go there. So that's cool. But yeah, in my area, is there are some famous onsen host. Sorry, I dropped you guys. I think hot spring is it called in English? Yeah, onsen. Okay. Um, yeah, there are some close to mine too, and people go there too. One question: Hokkaido Island sold to China. I don't believe that, but China always make propaganda. Well, it's not completely false. They bought the water and land of Hokkaido, and not only Hokkaido, like in many places in Japan. And we thought that it's a huge problem, of course. So we made a law to prohibit that, you know. And it's not enough though. There are many other areas. I mean, like in genres, many things that we need to deal with. Yeah. Oh yeah, because house temples. I don't know the pronunciation. It's in Dutch. The language is Dutch, but there's a facility called House Temples, Haustembosch or something like that. I don't know, but it's in Nagasaki Prefecture, and that is where, like, if maybe some of you know as Sasebo, but Sasebo City, there are U.S. base and self-defense, Japanese self-defense force base, and also Coast Guard base, I believe. And the facility, though, it's like a amusement park. It's not really amusement park, but it's a huge park. Lots of tulips and Dutch buildings, and there are some rides, but so it's a big land, and it was now sold to, like, they couldn't do the business well, so it was sold to this company in Hong Kong. And current Hong Kong is basically CCP, right? Like, controlled by CCP. So it's basically CCP, like, to our understanding, it's like, CCP bought that land, the huge land, very close to US base, self-defense force base. And that's very dangerous. And that happened recently. So that's something that we need to do something about. And same thing was happening to America. My friend Sarah Carter, contributor for Fox News, she was reporting how the land, I think she was saying the same thing, the land near the US base was bought by CCP or China. And so that's a world problem. And we need to be wise about it. Hmm. Tokyo is pretty conservative for its size. Yeah, I think it's a culture. The just basic culture of us is we're conservative because being conservative is fun. Family value, tradition, which is fun, exciting. Like, oh, you have to do this routine. Every year you do this and that. Like, it's fun, right? So tradition is fun, and it's something that unites or connects us with people in the past. Isn't it weird? Like, every time I go to shrine, I'm like, oh, my ancestors came here and did the same thing. And and they're still here, like, as a spirit. And like, when you think about that sort of stuff, it's not always pretty. Like, sometimes I go to, for example, I go to the city, like, my prefecture was bombed back in the day during the World War II. So I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I see all this amazing tall buildings, like cool designs and so forth, and at the same time I'm like, but people died here before. When you think about it, it's kind of weird. But my point is that tradition is cool. You do the same things as people in the past in the same place, and there's this divinity, like, it's divine. when you think about it. And that's something that I love about being a conservative. It's beautiful. Like, it's when you imagine something that's not there, it's cool. Depression must be defeated. Muster our forces. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I have to. I need to live the day. America will never again have the ability to concentrate on space exploration and a better world in the future due to the fact that the globalists have won in having foreigners invade and rule over them. Yeah, the world is about money. Uh, Yuko is funny, cracking herself up. Yeah, I make my I make myself laugh. Yoko's husband. Yoko's husband is perfectly okay with her accepting money from random men. Yes, he rather wants me to get money from some random man overseas. Yeah, it's kind of weird when you put it like that, but yeah. But it's business. Like, when you do a business, that's what happens, though, right? You get money from people you don't even know sometimes. But here, I know you. Hakone is wonderful. You should go. Yes, I should. Thank you for your reminder. I need to make money, though. Man, so this month in September, my husband and I, we went to Tokyo twice, and we have to pay for our fees. It's not like we are hired by somebody. Like, all of what we do is volunteer. So, and we don't we suck at making money. Like, it's so crazy that my husband and I, when we take this personality test, there's this good one, and it divides people into 16 personality types, and I'm always the debater. So is my husband. No matter how many times we take the test, like, you know after years, even, we tried that. We're debaters, and debaters, we think of good ideas and so on, like, oh yeah, let's do that. And once we start doing, we're like, nah. Like, we don't want to manage stuff. Like, we're the cultivator, but the rest, oh, you guys do it. And both of us are like that. So that what that means is that when it comes to doing business and so on, none of us lasts. So, I mean, we are good at doing political activities together. We are activists. We are also good at writing and also commenting and that sort of things. But when it comes to making money, we're not that type. So, but yeah, so this is what we do. So I really appreciate super chats. Thank you. Yoko, do not follow the path that the US and Europe have taken in allowing foreign bankers to rule over you and in allowing foreigners to replace and rule over your people in the name of peace. Yeah. About banks, I don't know how that is. I haven't studied enough, but the the interesting part of the world is that, of course, America, for example, is number one in the country, in the world, biggest and most developed country, I would say, in the world. But when you look at the world historically, Japan is actually the oldest independent nation that hasn't changed the form. Like, over 2600 years. We have this even way, we have our own version of years. It's called Koki. I wonder what year it is this year. Koki. 何年 ?2022 年。now 26, no, 2,682 years. Japan has been there. And so we've experienced, like, we have a long history, and I'm not saying to brag, like, oh, I'm better than you. Like, I'm not saying that. Japan has a long history. And of course, back in the day, like, we were Japan, as Japan. It was Japan. But like, we did have small, like, it was pretty much like a country, like, next to each other, and we had our leaders, and they were fighting each other, and we had all these wars inside. And so what that means is that we have experienced so much that they're probably like, and you know how they say history repeats itself, so it's happening. And we all like conservative people especially, we cite from back in the day, like, oh, now it's like when those guys did this and that happened, so like we have that sort of information. Yeah, so some people actually, some conservative compare our times with, like, you America have guns and we have katana, so some people compare that here too. And it's interesting when you make that sort of comparison. Like, of course, like, you can't completely compare, the backgrounds, the environments are different, but yeah, it's interesting. Myers-Briggs personality test. Yeah, I guess something like that. I don't remember, but if you say so, probably right. Yeah. You went to Tokyo when Hakone is 3 hours away by train. I'm there to do political activities, so yeah, we don't have the luxury to spend extra and so on, because we're barely paying for this place, you know. Like, yeah, it's tough. Financially, we're tough because we spend our money to political activities. But you guys are here supporting me like this, so I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I'm planning a trip to Japan. Would you recommend hiring a translator for the trip? I'm only upper beginner, early intermediate in Japanese. If you are a beginner, if you can say basic things, I guess it'll be okay. Like, unless you go to like countryside, Japan has lots of English signs. So like everything, even when you go into the bathroom or restroom, there's a sign. Not only in English, in Chinese and Korean. And Chinese and Korean, like, we're conservative people or right wing people are saying like, we don't need that, speak English. So that's what happens. But yeah, if you're on a train, there's always English translation followed by Chinese and Korean. That's Japanese people, like Japanese right wings especially, they don't like Chinese and Korean language on our train and so on. I actually agree with them. But yeah, so anyway, you have all these signs and everything, and there's always like, if you are in the tourist place, you're not gonna have troubles because there will be guides and information type of people there too. And what could happen if it's especially if you are like lost in Japan, there should be somebody like me, like, who wants to practice English with you. That come up to you like, oh, you do you need any help? Annoying Japanese that want to. There are some annoying Japanese people that keep speaking in English even when the foreigner is speaking in Japanese. The foreigner wants to practice Japanese with Japanese people, but Japanese people, when we see foreigners, we feel like we have to speak in English. My husband used to do that. I'm like, dude, he's talking in Japanese. Stop. Yeah, it's rude. I think the person is speaking in your language. I'm like, why don't you do that? You need to adjust yourself. Kaijin hunters. Exactly. I used to be a hunter. One time I talked to this young guy, like apparently white, and he was wearing, he, yeah, like it's, yeah, something about him. There was something about him, and I, I talked to him at the subway station. It looked like he was lost, and then it turns out that he belonged to the Navy, U.S. Navy. So he came from Nagasaki to my prefecture, Fukuoka, and he was heading back home. So I helped him out, like, oh, you gotta, I was single back then. And so I talked to him, and oh, yeah, this is what you do. And we talked in English, we separated and went to the different platform, but it was actually the same platform with different direction. But then he came up to me again, he gave me the number. And then we were occasionally texting to each other. Get a one day I got a text from him, ring, and I saw a picture. I saw a picture, and it was like, like the place was hidden, but like he was half naked. I'm like, whoa, America. Yeah, is this true story though? Yeah, those people might be there. So people like me back in the day, want to help you out. So, and don't hesitate, because like, I mean, you shouldn't catch those who are in a hurry, but if you are look if you look no, if you see like a down to earth type of person, just say sumimasen and talk to the person, and the person will do whatever it takes to help you. Usually the Japanese people are getting rude too, so I don't know. But anyway, man, it's been like an hour and a half. Oh my gosh, Japanese people are so wonderful if you try Nihon. Yeah, thank you. Yes, we try to be. It is kind of reverse Weibo. Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. More Japanese conservatives spoke fluent English as good as Yoko. The Japanese who speak fluent English are communist intellectuals. Yes, but you should follow Yoichi Shimada. I sometimes retweet his tweets, but he speaks English like he's a expert on American politics. I'm gonna spell his name for you. Yoichi. Also, Fuji Genki sensei. Genki Fuji. And also, like, these people speak English. Yeah. Like, there are people that understand English, but I guess that what they do, like work wise, it's meant for a Japanese audience, so they don't try to speak in English. I just love interacting with people from around the world, so I do this, but not everybody. But there are some hidden people. Yep. Okay. America picture. Yeah. Did Abe speak English? Yes. He's not like fluent, but he's fluent enough. And so he even made this amazing speech at the Congress in the US. When was that? It was in April. What year was that? Uh, Let me see. Oh yeah, 2015. This one. Towards an alliance of hope, addressed to a joint meeting of the US Congress by Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Yes. Yeah, good speech. The speech is good. I'll I wonder if you can see the link, but I put that there. Yeah, so Abe was international also, so that was really good, that he understood like the level of people in the world. Like our politicians are so domestic. Even if they study abroad, they don't even speak the same level as me, most of them. Like they just go there, like go abroad and study like, in American university or UK, and they just so that they can say on the resume, as their career, oh, I studied abroad, and that gives a good impression on your resume, and it's not really a resume, but on your career. So yeah, you just have to be polite. It's not that hard. True. LDB blocks the critics on Twitter. You think? I don't know. Good. I'm gonna get going now. Stay safe. You're going to hit it. God bless Japan. Trump joined number 4. Thank you. Yes, you guys need to sleep, and I have to go live the day. Like I want to keep talking to you, but yeah, this is gonna be endless. Should I do something on the funeral day? State funeral? Maybe live stream when that is happening. I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, there are still like I feel like I still haven't talked it out, but I guess it's good for now. Okay, thank you for sticking to the end. Sorry for my gigantic face. My phone is not acting well today, so yeah, stream if you can. Funeral day. Yes, I will try. Stay forever. Thank you. Go eat food in front of a husband. Yes, I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do the ASMR right next to his ear just to annoy him when he's like he's ticklish. So I actually do that to annoy him sometimes. To go up next to him like yeah. He's like, hey, no, stop. Anyway. Thank you guys. I'm gonna go now. So please have a good night or sleep well. Okay. And I don't know, depending on your time zone, and have a good day like I'm about to. You could this put. Thank you. Okay. Come back next week. I think next week I can do again. Yeah, I should be. I should be free. Yeah. Okay. Come back next week. Okay. Okay. See you. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye.